So I'm sure you're asking yourself the same question that heaps and heaps of surf mates are asking themselves. The Firewire Groove is now out right here. So, should you go scoop that up, or do you wait and go with the classic Machadocado? Which surfboard is best for you and your style of surfing? Well, the Kado right here, it shreds. I know that for sure. But if you want to shred even harder, go even longer, faster, stronger, the Groove could be for you. Now, before we get into it even more, I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this live stream, Surtex Construction. They specialize in sliding, stucco, windows, paint, and fireproofing. So if you're in the SoCal area, San Diego in particular, or nearby, give them a call. The number is on the hat right here. 619-348-7319. You can also check out their social medias, etc. So again, Surtex, they will get your job done. They're the best. They are the best. There's no one better. They're huge. Huge. They're the best. So thanks, Surtex, for sponsoring this live stream. And yeah, you can just make my money order. Venmo's cool. If you need to do PayPal, that's fine too. But yeah, I appreciate it. So go check them out, guys. So back to the show. Now, spoiler alert, I still have not ridden the Groove. So, you know, this is somewhat with a grain of salt. But I've ridden boards like the Groove. And I know what the Groove is trying to be. And especially when you look at the boards side by side, so let's kind of make myself small here. Now, they have a very similar shape. Here, maybe I'll go over here. As you can see, here we go, down here. Pretty much I've been calling the Groove the Machadocado Light. Because look at the shapes. The Kado is essentially a bloated, and funny that I say that because I'm kind of dealing with a little bloating stomach issue right now. Luckily, let me show you. I have a couple best friends that I got to introduce to you. So my first best friend is old Pepto Ultra. Now, if you didn't know about Pepto Ultra, it basically makes normal Pepto-Bismol obsolete. So this, and then my new best friend is whatever this is. I'm not going to let you look too intensely there, but you know that thing that's turning the seals crazy right now in California? I think it might have got me because I had this stomach thing for a week that didn't go away, and I ended up having to go to the hospital just to like double check that I didn't have what Google was telling me was a slow death coming up. Luckily, I'm still alive right now. We'll see what happens. Let me just see if I sound and look good real quick. Oh, and per usual, I look and sound amazing. So I even sound a little better than I thought because I'm using a kind of a different microphone here. And I actually have it going through the ZV-1, so it's pretty cool. I'm essentially just using the source audio from the ZV-1, which is the best camera ever made. Look up Sony ZV-1. And I'm using a kit lens with it. So the setup's a little different, but I'm actually pretty happy with how this looks right now and how it sounds. It actually sounds better than I thought it was going to sound because usually I use my H6 zoom and I have it pretty close, but this is actually coming like a proper boom mic from above. But we'll get back to the show here. You guys are like, all right, quit yapping, bro, about your stomach and the sponsor and your cameras. Also, we have my Super Smoothie, and this one is like extra super because I'm trying to like combat the bloating right here, and it's doing a great job. If you didn't know, ginger and lemon are your two key ingredients to crush those stomach woes. And if you have the mad seal disease as well, I'm sorry, it really sucks. And be careful, because you do not want to get bit by one of these crazy seals right now. Because one, you might end up like Tobias from Arrested Development. Two, you might get some crazy mad seal disease, which doesn't sound very fun at all, and I would not be stoked on that. So I'm going to say, like, if you don't want to stick around and listen to me yap on and on for hours and hours, if you're like trying to like shred the gnar and you're like high performance coolio and you're like, yo, I don't ride fishes, I don't ride grovelers, I'm here to shred, I don't play no games, then the Groove, it's for you. Like, really, the Groove is kind of like, first, it's Rob Machado's first like high performance shortboard. So it's interesting because let's bring up the Groove solo here. Let's talk about the Groove for a sec. So yeah, like, I think what Rob was trying to do here was like pretty much create a similar board to what he's been making, but make it like a board that was specifically made to shred waves. Now there's like good waves. There's a recent video about I think it has Rob Kelly and a few other guys surfing New Jersey, and it's like barreling sick New Jersey. And I could bring it up here in a sec. Maybe I'll even just do that. So we're going to share my screen. And let's go check out the Groove really shredding hard. Now, where is it? Why isn't it popping up? Give me 1 second to find it here. But yeah, so essentially the Groove, pretty gnarly. Oh, Stab did it actually. I wonder if Stab is even going to let me watch this, because they don't let you watch stuff. Oh, look, there's my video. Yeah, now I can't find it. That's a shame. Well, they recently had like a Firewire surfing New Jersey video. Maybe it's like behind the paywall or something. But you can surf the Groove and like pumping barreling waves. I mean, that was the long story short. It might have only been on Instagram. I'll just look it up as we're going. But no, it didn't. Did it? That's a lie. That's a lie. Yeah, we have people texting me that inappropriate content was just seen on my stream, and we can't have that because the YouTube police are in full force. But I did actually think about that. I was like, oh no, like, is something naughty gonna pop up? But no, we don't do that around here, okay? This is a family channel. This is for the whole family. We don't do that kind of naughty stuff, guys. This is rated G. It's not even PG, it's rated G. But as I try to find this Firewire Stab thing, because it was pretty sick. Long story short, they're surfing like overhead pitching barreling waves on the Groove, and they're actually doing like a great job and shredding the board extremely hard, which is kind of crazy because, like, usually for one, the helium technology in the Firewire boards, like, it does do really well, but I think there kind of can be sometimes a limit with epoxy, and if there's like a ton of water pushing around. And for me, what I've kind of realized is the Ibolics technology, I think, does perform a teeny bit better in like pumping surf where there's a lot of water moving around, because there's a stringer, and to me it feels a little less stiff. I think the stringer, even though it is a foam stringer, it does create more flex in the board because there's like two pieces of foam connected, so each one can kind of flex a little more. Then on the helium versions like this, the stringer is actually around the board in a way, and it's the wooden Polonia wood, I think it's pronounced. So it's not like, I don't notice it being not flexy, but like in theory, compared to a board with a stringer will usually be more flexy. So now I am seeing now they are showing the stuff on the, they're calling it the Joyride. So I'm trying to see where I can actually watch this. Stab's Joyride, watch the episode. Or how do you watch the freaking episode? You guys, Let me see here. I'm trying to find out how to watch this episode. It's not letting me. Interesting. I wonder why I can't. It says watch the episode, but then when I go to their website, I couldn't find it. Let me just see if I can find it really quick. Stab, Joyride, Firewire. Let me see. Groove. And I'm still not finding it, so I don't know where it is. That kind of sucks. But they're surfing. Let's see if we can even like give a quick Instagram look in here. Let's see. So here it is. That's the groove, and he's going through the barrel and coming out. It's spitting tubes. So up, everyone left because everyone was pissed. We have a comment from Michael Waters. He says, "Hat looks good on you. Thanks, brother." Well, I'm not sure what you're talking about, Michael Waters, but thank you. Appreciated. Much appreciated. You know what we can do actually is we can bring up the Instagram and just watch this really quick because this is actually pretty impressive. And we'll check out this. We can just watch like a quick barrel of the groove. Oh wait, here we go. They're showing airs and stuff. They don't want to show us the full video of this thingy because it's stab, and they kind of like to hide stuff behind paywalls, which is fair enough. But I at least did see one Nolly barrel, so we can watch that. So I'm bringing up the Firewire website. Just give me a second here. Okay, so we can watch this for a sec. Michael Waters, don't worry, we're gonna watch this. I'll expect. Now you can't see my bookmarks. Big jerks. So here's these pumping barrels. Up, we got Migsy. Migsy, what's going on, sir? Good to have you. Good to have you. We have the 11. This is like a crazy wave. So the fact that he was able to drop in, the board held, he got barreled, he came out like this one. Like he's surfing this board very high performance. So I do know there's at least the. Oh wait, that's something else. So if you want to do some big airs, then the groove definitely is your ticket to ride. This was the new surf pool in Brazil. And there's a big one. Now look, he also does have the Machadocado here. So this is like a 2-in-1 comparison. So let's watch him surf each board really quick because it's fatter, wider. It's essentially a bloated version of the whatever that board's called, the groove. So I don't really think that the Machadocado is like necessarily a bad board to ride in the pool and to do airs and stuff, but the groove just ups the ante like a lot. So it's super cool that, you know, like, okay, this is, I mean, these are humongous airs that are pretty unbelievable considering that, pause right there, he's, you know, what is that? He's 10 feet in the air. It's like pretty sick that you can shred a wave this hard on this board and like not really have too much of an issue, because like sometimes when you're surfing react the same in the water, so it can almost kind of be a hindrance sometimes. Like felt great in the pool, and like I rode another, what board did I ride? I think it was the Surf Tech EOS belt, and feels way better to me. Sorry guys, my internet is being a little weird. Give me one. There we go. We're gonna stop that for 1 sec. It says my connection is unstable. That makes me angry, but it looks okay on my end. So we're just gonna keep it going here. Thanks Migs and Mikey. Thanks for letting me know that. I don't know why. Oh, the stream's going to ish. The stream's going to ish. I don't know what that was. That just fell. But looks like we're back now. I don't know why the stream is going bad. Let me check one setting on this camera really quick. We're just gonna up the ante of the fan. We're gonna crank the fan up a little bit, and then I'm thinking if I maybe chug some more Pepto. Maybe it will kind of help the stream. But now it's looking good. The internet's telling me that everything's okay now. So we just are going to get back to screen sharing really quick. And hopefully the internet's all as the Machadocado. It still says my internet's being weird, but we're just going to keep riding with it because it looks okay to me on my phone right now. And it's funny, we're watching a reaction of him reacting to me reacting. So there was a problem that. But let's check out Rob doing an error too. And I might have to stop sharing the screen because the internet is trying to be weird on me. But these are like massive errors, bro. Massive errors. And here's Rob Kelly. And I mean, look at this. Like that is, it's pretty, you'd be like, this is like the biggest error ever. So it's pretty unbelievable how, and that is the groove he's riding. So it's pretty unbelievable how high performance the groove can be. And because it's actually shaped a little more like a normal board, it's not kind of Rob's typical like extremely fat PHAT or thick with 2 C's. It's very streamlined, and it's pretty much like, it reminds me of a board I used to have. That was the, what's funny is this is a Sony lens. It actually focuses worse than my Tamron lens. But it might be because of my f-stop's a little higher, and I have the settings different. But I'm trying to find the same Simon Anderson board I used to have. Well, long story short, it's essentially like it's the same design and board as like your classic thruster surfboard. I mean, he really didn't. I think Rob's shapes are usually so different that when he came out with this, it's very like normal and nothing too crazy from someone who for the last 5 shapes he's made has been a lot different, more out of the box. Now, like, we'll do a quick side to side because look, it's pretty obvious that the Kado and the groove like share a lot of the similar characteristics. All right, Mark Ellerman in the chat. Mark, another celebrity. Mark is saying, well, Migsy was saying, good to see you live, sir. Good to see you too, Migsy. He said the internet's slow in Oz too. Mark's saying the air section on that wave pool looks like an ankle slapper. Yes, I agree. Well, what's crazy is like, so that's the perfect swell technology, and they, now they're getting to the point where all of them are kind of not getting more similar, but like they're getting more customizable in real time, so you can even like change stuff in real time somewhat. Oh, he was saying an ankle snapper. Yeah, true. And it does look dangerous. And I mean, still all these pools, besides Endless Surf's tech, the pools are like concrete at the bottom, and it's not like a nice smooth concrete. Usually it's like a cheese grater concrete. So when they invent some kind of tech that's like, it has some kind of give, like not gonna break your body, that'll be $1 million idea. But the thing is, like, that's why reef ends up being good, because reef and concrete doesn't erode over time. It's tons and tons of water. Endless Surf does utilize a stainless steel bottom. So the only Endless Surf pool that's out right now is the one in Munich, but the bottom of that pool actually is the only one that is different. It is essentially it's steel. It's like what your fridge or toaster is made out of. So that I think is a little better of a bottom than full concrete. So Maisie saying, what's up, Mark? Marco saying Surface firing today, 2 sessions, and his shoulders are cooked. Well, y'all scored, because in where I live, where no one can know, it is like kind of big and blown out, but it did have some windows. I think we'll get a couple more windows, but I don't know if you boys saw, but I'm on the Pepto right now, so I'm having to take another day off. I'm gonna try to get out tomorrow at some point, but unfortunately, I'm like just a little out of it still. But I think what's cool is like when Rob makes boards like these, even though there is like a good amount of overlap, they're different enough where like you could get both and still be happy. Now it's not like you got the Kado and the groove comes out and you're like, ah crap, I should have waited, now I want the groove. Because that actually is different enough. So all of his boards, like between the Machup, the Two Fish, the Machadocado, the groove, like the Sunday, they actually are all different enough. It's almost like laying down a Venn diagram, and there is overlap, but you could own all the boards, and they're actually gonna have enough differences where if you're like Richie Rich, then it's cool, and like you're cool. If you're just like Richie Rich, then like having all the boards actually isn't even bad. It's just do you have enough money to afford all the boards? So let's check out some more specs on the Groove. Now, hopefully, I think the sharing screen, the internet doesn't like that, but F it, because YOLO. We'll see what happens here. Versatile hybrid. So, and give you the most performance, it is going to be the Groove. Because even the bottom contours, I think are pretty much the same. So, like the Machadocado, I think actually the Machadocado is, let's see, the Machadocado is, I thought this was double, oh it is, yeah, it's the same. Yeah, so both boards have the same center, means, how do you get rid of this top thing? Which means that, like, really it's going to be a little better on worse waves. So it won't kind of dig as much. Just made it a little lighter, like took out some of the fat and stuff. It's being stupid. I know, shh, YouTube, shh. Your connection is unstable. You're unstable. You're unstable, YouTube. Yeah, so Mark says, would love to try the Groove, but I'm pretty psyched on the Kado at the moment. Might take a while for secondhand Groove to hit the market. Yeah, I agree, and I still haven't tried one, and I'm going to be able to try one soon, but right now, Firewire, they need all the grooves for all their demo shreds, and they have a good amount coming up. They were kind enough for right now to lend me the Kado, so she's right here, she's my best friend. Maybe let's just have her hang out for a little bit. And, like, I personally would always probably choose the Kado unless I'm going to surf. This is looking yellow back here. Holy crap. Unless I'm going to surf like waves we were watching earlier in Jersey where it's like firing and pumping. That'd be the only time I'd prefer that over this. Like, because I generally like how these kind of boards ride more than a performance thruster, at least in my old washed up age. Now, back when I was like cool and like I was on the surf team, I had a couple big time sponsors. I was Mr. Big Shot. Like I liked the thruster board more. And then along came the pod mod, and it pretty much ruined everything in terms of going to like that kind of board. Because after the pod mod, I never went back. Oh, we got Tom K in the chat. Sweet. I gotta address Tom K real quick. What up, playa? Or I guess you're not playa, but what up? Solid relationship, man. Yeah, dude. Hope you're well, Tom, and hope you're staying safe, and we'll surf soon. Let's answer some of Meg's and Mark's questions as well. And so I saw the endorphin in here too, and I appreciate everyone watching this video. So quick side tangent before I answer you guys, Mark and Meg's. So I'm still not sold on this, and I'm gonna put back in the other fin because this is I might try the NDS fin as well, which I think could be cool. But really, so far, it's like this is still the best. But I also do want to try the KS sides. as well. So, but I really do like how the normal fins ride. It's like a little tighter. Um, but like once you get kind of used to it, and it does have like a nice bit of drive, which like I do like. Like after being like kind of twin fin guy for a while, I do like having a little bit more hold and drive and having that like pumping ability again, where you're a little bit back to basics. Um, so let's answer some chats and questions here. Oh, we have Michael Waters back on the chat. This isn't going to stay, is it? Let's see. It might stay, it might not. We can't have a board fall again when the Reba Max fell. It was a disaster. I think we're okay. So, we're behind chat here. The chat's popping off, guys. The stream's popping. So, Migsy was saying, Mark said that he's a Kado fanboy. Mig says he surfed yesterday 5 hours straight on his 9.6 log. His mates shaped him a present for helping him to move out, and it was a huge job. He's not even tired. Longboards are the biggest cheat code. Oh, 100%. I mean, dude, when I was living in Venice Beach, it's like a closeout. It's like it just always closes out. That's where I just realized, like, all right, well, I have to maximize surf. So I would just go down. I would ride a longboard, the Varga board, and I would go down the line, and then it would close out. Then I turn, and then my new strategy was just like fins to the shore, and I would literally just ride whitewater like kind of straight. But you guys know how I do when I do my little like I'm surfing, but I'm just essentially riding whitewater. That's how I survived living in LA for 3 to 4 years. Was it tons of closeouts, and I would just basically ride straight like I was learning. But the longboard lets you ride straight in whitewater. No other board lets you do that, and it's actually pretty fun, especially if you like have a nice longboard with a good about a nose, stuff near the nose. So I agree, Migsy. Longboarding, luckily, it's like kind of cool now to longboard. Like even 7 years ago, like if you longboarded, like that was GAY in like the 1990s way to say, like it was not cool. But now it's like kind of cool. I mean, it's at least not frowned upon, and you're not like a super kook if you also own a longboard. It was more of a separation of like longboarders and shortboarders. Now it's pretty much like just surfers and bodyboarders. The separation's still there. But now all the surfers can kind of like, especially now that the mid-lengths kind of got popular, even mid-lengths had a little identity crisis where it wasn't that cool to ride it, but now it's like the cool thing is to ride the mid-length. Yeah, so Maisie saying the Kado better than sweet potato so far from Mark. Yeah, Mark's a good Kado fanboy. Mark was saying that's a huge day, Maisie. I can't remember the last time I surfed 5 hours straight. Yeah, I've surfed like 3 hours is my max. I mean, even I try to surf at least an hour, and then like an hour and a half to 2 hours. But once I get to 2.5, maybe 3, like the calf cramping, it starts, and it's hard to get more than 3 for me. But when you're on a longboard, you can rest your legs on the back of the board, so it does help a lot with not cramping because your feet are on the board. So makes you saying if you got a pen, write down his email address when he deletes it. Let me know you got a pen. You guys better do this quickly because I'm gonna. If it's on the teleprompter, I read it. It's kind of like an anchor man, so you better delete that because I'm gonna see it and read it. Tom's dropped in. He's got to go. We're gonna shred soon. Mark's saying he's not super knowledgeable about board designs, but boards with deep concaves seem to work well for him. Have a look at the groove at a local surf shop, and the concaves felt like more like a shortboard. Yeah, and it's a double concave ends up being kind of like what a stringer does, where it creates two zones of the board. That's why most shortboards actually are a single to double concave. It's kind of the most, if you think about it, the top of the board having a single and then going to a double makes like the most sense because there's no fins at the top of the board. Like you want the water to kind of like go through whatever. I think the double helps it be a little more stable, but maybe a little less high performance. Because there's also shortboards that have a single concave that go all the way. So it will be like kind of like the Two Fish, but not as extreme, or the Two Fish has like the most extreme single concave. So it doesn't have as much hold and like kind of side to side ness. Like the Machup, I think, is single to double, maybe. Let's see. No, the Machup's double too. So yeah, the Machup's all double. So yeah, so that must be one of Rob's kind of go-to things, is keeping the double going. Well, besides the Two Fish, but the double concave, especially towards the fins, is like the easiest, most surfable shape. Michael Waters was saying, NVX knock fins, do it. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had some, but you have them. So Michael Waters, I need those fins pronto. Thank you, sir. Mark says in a DM, Migsy sent. The boys are just making deals behind the scenes. Mark doesn't know how to do Instagram DMs, so he's gonna have to search them. Whoa, Mark Migsy said, I haven't surfed a longboard in 20 years. I reckon. But you surfed it once that day. So you didn't surf 20 years on a longboard until then. Dang. Oh, Mark said that. Yeah. Yeah, Migsy doesn't have an Instagram or a Facebook. Migsy's living in 1987. So Migsy's getting a pen, and now they're changing things. And up here comes the email. I'm trying my best not to read it. We'll move on while you guys do that. Just so you guys know, there is like the live chat gets recorded, so you better delete that quick, because they're gonna be coming for you, Migsy. So, let's go back to this picture. So what I do also like is that the Machadocado, it does have one flaw. Oh, look, the board's in the shot, even though we're doing green screen. Oh, it doesn't want to do it. Once it doesn't want. Oh, look, it's like kind of behind. It's not there, but it's there. So the Kado does have only the 3-fin option, whereas the Groove, you do get those 5 fins. So I think that was a really good idea by Rob. Because again, I think shapers, anyway, let's see what happens. Up I am, I'm jammed or something. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. I don't like that at all. I don't know why it's being weird. My internet's amazing. Well, like, you're gonna sacrifice some audience, some people that, like, you're better off doing the 5-fin setup, even if the board might not ride as good. Now, even Rob on his initial Groove like promo videos was kind of saying that I think he wanted the Groove to be a tri-fin, a thruster. I mean, a performance board like from 2005 like was a thruster. Quads were not really even a thing for a while. But I'm sure that there was some behind the scenes talk where it was like, well, we don't want to alienate too many of the quad people. So really, it like kind of is the best move to make it just 5 fins and call it a day. So yeah, so Migsy and Mark are having trouble with, oh yeah, Migsy, they might do some kind of block thing. Migsy, if it helps, you could email me and let me see. How could y'all do this? Are you guys boomers? You guys are boomers, right? That's why you can't figure it out. Are you guys older than boomers? You guys are boomers, I think. Because you guys are boomers. Maybe if you emailed me and then I can email me, one of y'all, and then I'll email someone else. I think, Mark, you've emailed me before, right? Because Migsy has. So we can do like that if you guys want. One of y'all can email it to me, and then I'll forward the email to one of y'all. So, okay, yeah. So y'all are boomers, so you can't work technology. Understand? Fully understand. I'm a millennial, so like this is my life. I'm professional internet and stuff. But I was late to the memes. I used to never really think memes are that funny or cool. But then one day I realized memes are amazing, and now I'm like kind of meme boy. But they're even like 2 years ago, I was like, yeah, memes, like, whatever. I didn't think they were that cool. But now I'm like, I think memes are the funniest things in the world. Um, so yeah, so one of y'all email me, and then I'll email both y'all. Try to email me right now, maybe, and then I'll just share your emails. Because yeah, the YouTube's might be like blocking your email because it doesn't want you to put it there. That can happen sometimes because it thinks it's spam or something. So, but yeah, if anyone in the chat, y'all, please also just please do a little bit of housekeeping. Please smash the like, subscribe. There's a little bit of a like contest going on. If you do want to leave a super chat, you'll be the official sponsor. Save Certex, which is the pre-taping sponsor. If you need any construction work done in the SoCal area, please hit them up. They are on Instagram, etc. He was in the chat earlier, so Michael, we appreciate you. And they get some great work done, and they'll be supporting local business. So please look them up and give it a try. So that'll be all my shilling for the episode. But like, so let's just talk about like the tried and true for a sec, because I think it's funny how, I mean, if we think about it, the Machadocado, it didn't even come out that long ago. I mean, it came out, what, if any of my freaking internet wants to work, nothing wants to work. It came out maybe a year ago. This is July 12th, 2024. So yeah, that's, the Machadocado's only been out 8-9 months, and it's funny how we already think about it as like a classic shape. So it's pretty interesting how if you make a banger of a board, like you'd think the surfboard design like industry is saturated, everything's been done already, and it kind of has. But then like when Rob makes a board like the Machadocado, there's enough newness to it where it can solidify itself in the quiver, like in history, and people are already like there's tons of other boards. I mean, there's been hundreds of surfboard designs in the last 10 years, and so why are people even considering? I mean, it might be kind of like in with the new, out with the old type deal. I mean, like with cameras and stuff like that. But really, the technology of surfboards hasn't really improved that much. Let's see. Migsy says, "We will stuff you up with meat pies and beers whenever you get to Oz, mate, you bloody legend." Well, I would love some meat pies, yeah. I remember even 7-Eleven had some good meat pies. And we'll go to Hungry Jack's with extra beet on the extra beets. I always thought that was the funniest thing. If you guys don't know, when you go buy a hamburger from fast food in Australia, first there'll be options to put an egg on there, and like not scrambled egg, like a fried egg. This is at like McDonald's, like at a hamburger. And then when you go to Hungry Jack's, which is Burger King, or any of the places, they actually put a thin patty of beet. So it's kind of like a tomato or slice, but it's a beetroot slice. So it's interesting because it's a acquired taste. And then they try to get you on the Vegemite train, and you're just like, I'll show you what you do when when you give you the Vegemite. You usually go like this, like you don't even know what to do, but then the trick with Vegemite is you gotta like put heaps of butter on it, and then somehow it tastes good. So it's a Australian. It's kind of like Spam in Hawaii. It's just something you do and everyone loves it. But as an outsider, it doesn't really make too much sense. So I wish I could share my screen more, but the internet doesn't want me to right now. What I do think is cool is that like as of now, they haven't made any different tech that from the Groove. It's only the helium. So I do foresee them maybe trying some other kind of lamination like the Volcanic. But like with Rob's, with the Machadocado, they only actually have the like this gray swirl thing, which it's not gonna like me sharing the screen again, but I don't care. Let's see what happens. Oh, it says unstable again. That's so stupid. Oh well. This never happens. This never happens. That's what he said. Yeah, that's really dumb. Yeah, it lagged, so I can't share the screen right now, which is dumb. But luckily I do have a few of these pictures that I made. But the Machado Helium, you know what I could do is this. With the swirl, it's funny because they don't really say what it is, but I think it's kind of like the Volcanic, but I don't know what really, like, they're trying to, I don't know why they selected like it as itself. I don't know why they didn't just go Volcanic, but here we go. But supposedly someone does say it is a little heavier and it is a little stiffer. So I think Tommy Surfs might have tried it. I can't remember exactly, but I think it does look cool. And I know boardshop.co.uk, they did a review on it, and like he has this version, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. It's not popping up right now. But yeah, the boardshop.co.uk had the swirl version, I think, in the actual review. And I think he was saying that he does think it's a little stiffer and a little different. So, oh, there's Mike Raven. Oh, Mike Raven has the Machadocado with the swirl. That's who has it. Oh, interesting. Let's see. Mike Raven. I'm trying to see. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Mike Raven has the swirl. Well, Mike, we would be watching your video if my freaking internet worked. But, you know, I think I would just get the normal version. Yeah, Miggsy says the swirl, it's paint swirl, but it is a little bit heavier. Okay. Miggsy also said it'll be sick if they make the Kado and Beyond like the Seaside. I never tried the Seaside and Beyond, but I got the fins. I like them. Oh, like the Seaside, yeah. True. Yeah, true. He said Legend Vegemite and Avo Toast. That's a local classic around here for almost 10 years. True, yeah. So Avo Toast and with Vegemite, yeah. In America, Avo Toast has taken over. All the hot babes eat it, and like kind of the richy rich people, but it's actually now gotten so popular that now kind of everyone eats it. But it is. If you live in California, you understand it a lot more. But like a lot of America thinks avocado toast is like a silly thing to eat, and it's like pompous or something, and not. But avocado is such a superfood that it actually does make a lot of sense. And it's good that it's so popular because you're getting, if you eat like a bread that's not just enriched wheat flour, like it's whole wheat bread or it's rye bread or it's something besides just like sugar and enriched wheat flour, then it's like actually a pretty good meal because you're getting protein, a ton of like superfood-esqueness from the avo, and then some carbohydrates from the bread. So it ends up being a pretty good meal. But for a while there, the running joke was like everyone just got avo toast and it costs like $10 when it should only cost, for avo toast should be $1.50 or something. But people pay $10 for avo toast. But Mike Raven, he has the swirl. So I'm going to just see real quick if I can bring up Mike Raven's channel. And it's not going to like me sharing again, but I might just do it anyway. Let's just see Mike get one wave on it. Oh, there he is. Oh yeah, we'll watch 1 second of this. And hopefully the internet doesn't want to... Maybe if I take this and put it in not 4K and make it like 1080. There we go. And do theater mode, and then let's see what happens here. So we're going to watch Mike Raven surf on the groove for a second. And hopefully the internet... Just bear with me, y'all. We'll see if the internet lets me do this. All right. and we'll see if it's still going. Don't know. It's kind of going, but like you can see he's shredding, and I forget what size version he has, but it's a sweet. I think it's a cool color and it looks cool, but if it is, not as sweet as normal helium, maybe it's not really worth it. Again, I wish I knew why it was being kind of weird and laggy, but we're just going to keep going with it. I'm going to do a quick little, see if this helps it at all. Kind of helped it a little bit. You can see in this one, he's actually doing a Machadocado versus the Machup, and even the Machup is more like the groove than the Machadocado. I mean, the Machup might even be the closest board to the groove, and you can see here on the Machup, he's surfing it a little more high performance-y. Like it's able to do that just due to the shape. I mean, it's might seem obvious, but a board that's skinnier, that has a little more lively feel, it's gonna ride, a little more in the pocket, more high performance. And he does a good job of showcasing that here. Like on this, he's really shredding the Machup here. And let's see, because he has a good video about the groove. Might even be on his thing under here. Let's see. Oh, look, I'm commenting on his video. That's funny. Look, there's my video. Let's see. So here he's on the groove. So, and I forget what size groove he went with. I think he went with like the 5/8 or something. Here's me again commenting. I forget what size he went with, but we'll watch him surf for a second, and you can tell that it looks more like he's surfing the Machup than when he's surfing the Machadocado. So, and I think it's cool how, and it's almost like, I think Mike's kind of like me now, where he's gotten so used to riding hybridy fish shapes that on a board like the Groove, it's so much more, what's the word, fine-tuned in terms of how the board rides, that it's a little less forgiving than the other boards. And you're seeing he's having to work the board more. It's not doing as much of the work by himself. He's having to push the board, do the board. No, that sounded weird. He makes the board ride as opposed to the board riding him. And the Machadocado, it does a good job of being right in the middle, where as you see it's fuller on each side, and the Groove is definitely more just, you have to control and do everything and create speed, create the flow, kind of hold on. It's going to be a little more squirrely. The Kado is going to be essentially just less like that. It's going to do more of the work for you. It's going to be like a fatter, easier ride. So it really, a lot of this comes down to just how much work you want to do. Like, do you want the board to kind of create its own speed more so and do its own thing, or do you want to be in charge, like it's your world now and you're telling the board what to do? So Maisie's saying he put a 6'2" swirled under his arm. Okay. And the swirled Machadocado was heavier. The shop owner told him that paint and Volcanic is to mask the pink rust. Interesting. Mark's description, and the Volcanic, and it's starting to show. So you're saying the Volcanic starts to do the pink thing? And they put the swirl over top of that to stop it? I mean, maybe, because they haven't made a Volcanic version after the Machadocado. They do have a Seaside and Beyond board, but they actually call it Volcanic Reprieve, so it's slightly different. So I'm wondering if this is an attempt to fix that. I haven't heard, Migs, about this one doing that yet. But this, as you can see, this is over here. This is slightly different, this material, than like the straight up Volcanic. I mean, it says Volcanic right there, but so Migsy's saying to show the pink rush, but looks interesting. He's saying fat. Uh-oh. What in the crap? Bear with me, guys. And I think we're back. We're back. That was dumb. Sorry, y'all. We lost everyone. My channel's canceled. No one liked it. So, yeah, like, I don't know what happened there, but sorry about that. But now we're back. I don't think it was too much of an issue. Let's see. There was only a 10-minute pause. Yeah, perfect. Great. Thanks a lot, YouTube. Appreciate you. But we're back. That's all that matters. It is getting kind of late. We've been going for an hour, so it probably is good to get out of here shortly. But we can kind of start wrapping it up. And it's super interesting what you're saying, Migsy, about the new tech and stuff. And I mean, I wonder if the ibolic stuff is helping it get a little better. But here we can show me shredding. My ego can boost. So look, this was the board I was trying to look for earlier. So this Simon Anderson, this board's a lot like the Groove. This had actually a single concave that ran through the back there. And what was interesting about this board is I remember, did I buy that board in Australia? I might have bought it. No, I can't remember. But I remember the single concave kind of being kind of harder to surf. And I think that's the naturalness of the double concave is it's an easier way to surf it. Yeah. So Meiji saying fact check him in the future. Well, for sure. But yeah, if I know, I mean, a lot of the stuff's anecdotal, so it's not like, you know, it can happen here and there. I mean, I did have a Seaside and Beyond that did get a little red, but it was due to water entering the board. So I think the redness is from a chemical reaction from water in the foam or one of the layers, and it just creates like a little bit of a red color. I don't think it actually has anything to do with anything besides the color reaction. And I think they've updated the materials, I thought, to not make it happen anymore. So that's what I thought was going on. But, you know, it could still happen. But supposedly they're really good if it happens and you're over it, that they will like get you a new stick if needed. So I don't think they're gonna leave you hanging if you get some redness and you're just like, hey, I can't have this redness in my board. They will do what they got to do to get you a new board or whatever. So I know their customer service in that regard is really good. So you can try that route and see if that will help. But yeah, so the Seaside and Beyond that I sold, it did do that a little bit. And shout out, I don't think he's in the chat right now, but Braden, yeah, the guy who bought it, like, said the board rode great and had no complaints. And it wasn't super noticeable, but I did try to explain a little bit. But it is kind of hard to sell a board if it has like some weird material on it. And you're like, what is that? And you have to be like, oh, this is, oh, there's a little hornet. This is just purely cosmetic. Don't worry about that. Just it'll all be fine. So it can be a little hard to like swallow the, like, what's this pink red stuff on the board. But again, I think it's just a chemical reaction due to the foam that they used, and has no actual effect on the board itself. So the theories galore. Yeah. So I might even get ballsy real quick and see if I can do another video share. But I know I shouldn't because the internet is not liking this right now. Let's see here. I want to go back and watch, like, oh, cool. So here, yeah, so here's boardshop.co.uk. He was, he has the Volcanic. He's in real life, so let's see. All right, stream, don't do anything naughty. Just let me do this without blowing up. So dumb. It was doing the thing. I don't know why it's doing that now. Never has done that. I'm going to take a quick picture of this because this actually shows it really well, and you can kind of tell that, yeah, it might be some kind of laminate on top of the stuff just to maybe try to hide it. Like, maybe you are right, Migsy, but again, I'll fact check here. I'll figure it out. But like, I do think this is a cool look, and like, if it wasn't different, I'd be keen. And yeah, actually, Tommy Surfs did say that he went in the shop and felt it, and to him it did feel better. But I have heard, I think Firewire said this, I can't remember if it was them or someone else, but they claim that it is the same weight, so it could be a mind F. But I think they would at least say something, though. They wouldn't just like hide this as Volcanic if it didn't have something in it. Because the Volcanic, I think, is usually a little bit more expensive. I think it's usually like $20, it might be like $80 more sometimes. Because in theory, that's supposed to be their carbon fiber version of the board. In their eco version of carbon fiber, because carbon fiber is kind of, it's kind of bad. It's kind of naughty because it's doesn't really go away. It's kind of like a super material, so it's just not the most like dissolvable or anything, and it is very rigid, so it makes sense the Volcanic is more stiffer and rigid, because if it's basalt, so if it's kind of mimicking that carbon fiber-esque, there's pros and cons for sure. But I think it will be a little stronger. But I still am a huge fan of the Ibolix Volcanic. I still think that could be the sweet spot between Volcanic and Helium, because like the Sci-Fi 2.0 is a great example of like that material like working really good on like a high performance board that kind of like would do better with it being stiffer. Like, you don't really gain too much from having like a big groveler being that much stiffer, because it's already a groveler. So the extra stiffness could help you plow through chunder. But like here, it's on a more high performance board, the stiffness does make a little more sense because it adds some of the It almost ups the groveling ability a little bit. It ups the not getting bucked around as much. Because the lighter, more high performance a board is, the more it will kind of get bucked around and choppier surf than a like fatter groveler board will kind of hold its ground a little more because there's more volume and more surface area. So, but yeah, this material, the Ibolic Volcanic, feels great to me. This is what the Revo Max is made out of. And I think why this is so sweet is because it's essentially the helium, but with the stringer made out of foam, and then has a stringer made out of foam as well. So I think it's actually the lightest, but then when you add the volcanic lamination, it helps make it a little heavier, so it's not just like a featherweight. And then it just, the combination of maybe a lack of the wooden stringer mixed with the foam stringer, mixed with the somewhat carbon fiber feel of the laminate, it's just like a really nice package. It's a good package, mate. So Maisie says helium pure white will replace Travis. Check with your contacts in the US. Here in Oz, all shops told me Volcanic is only from now on with the new Volcanic cloth. Like Timber Tech, they are moving on. Replace. Here in Oz, all the shops told me Volcanic only now on with the new Volcanic cloth. Oh, like the Reprieve, maybe? But I see what you're saying now. I mean, what I've noticed is sometimes, like in different countries, they'll actually do like kind of different things. So I don't know if maybe that'll be the case or not, but only kind of time will tell what they end up doing with the groove. But like, I think for what it is, I mean, I think the Volcanic over top the helium is best for boards like the Machadocado and the Seaside and stuff like that. Even the Machup does have the Volcanic version. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I know Meggy says, yeah, the one you've shown on the photo. Okay, yeah, true. So we'll kind of see what happens because in the end, like I think your best bet is just getting the normal helium, which both these come in, and like that's probably the best bet for everyone. I think if you're surfing like bigger waves with more chop, that's where the Volcanic could come in handy and could help. Yeah, guys, we're getting to about an hour and 15 here. I think we're gonna wrap it up soon. It's another late night stream. It's late by you boys. Miggsy says it's a looks issue. True, yeah, true. I mean, again, I heard that they had fixed the problem, and now the newest heliums shouldn't do that anymore. Should not do the red thing, but I guess time will tell there. But to me, there's actually like so many layers. Here, I'll paste this picture really quick. In these boards that, let's see, let's cancel this. That they fixed one of these. So let's see if we can get a scene here. So you see in here, there's like a lot going on here. It's just not the foam, and then there's almost 3 layers on top of just the foam. And now this is the Ibolic, and like I was saying, these are high density foam rails and a high density springer made out of foam. And then it's just like regular glass, E-glass. E-glass is just entropy glass, I believe. It's like a plant glass. But this is slightly different than just straight helium. Like there's a few different things on here, but some of this stuff could just be like one of these types of E-glass might just even kind of make the reaction. Because if you like dig in the board that's red, it doesn't seem to me like the redness is going down below. It's like the whole foam block turns red. It's kind of like just the top layer. I mean, I haven't done, again, too much digging, pun intended. But see, even here they say the Ibolic is kind of supposed to be like the LFT, which is what I had in Seaside and Beyond. And the LFT did the same thing as the helium, the redness sometimes. So that's how you kind of know it's some kind of chemical issue. Because LFT is different than helium in terms of like, but there's not that much different. I think it's actually just more so because one has wood, one doesn't have wood. One has a stringer, one doesn't. But the LFT, to me, I thought was amazing. Even though they say here Ibolic has the stiffness of the old LFT. I didn't find LFT to be stiff. I found it to be amazing. Like right away, I was like, oh, this really rides great. But it was brittle, and it did ding easily, I thought. So Big Z says, fingers crossed. When roughly am I going to go live with a sweet potato review, mate? Just to be aware. Thanks. Maisie, I still have no clue, unfortunately. Just because I do still have to edit the clips together, and I still do have to finish my taxes. So the taxes are the number one thing, and then there's all these other things popping up that it's just really hard to edit these clips because essentially it's like scrubbing through these long things, and I have to edit each clip. It's just like a lot of work. So no timeline, but I'll definitely like set it up where it's it'll be a couple of days out, and then I'll have so you'll see like, oh, the sweet potato review is gonna happen on Thursday, and today's Tuesday, so it's gonna be a little more like that. And if I do get it set up in time, I'll remember to email you because I know you want to be in there. So I know I want to get it done. I just do have so much footage that it's like definitely a pain in the butt. Let's see if I can find any really quick. Let's see here. Boom. Let's see. Oh, it's not even on here. See? God dang it. My sweet potato footage, and it's like a terabyte of footage too. So I have like 10 different hard drives, and it's on a hard drive. It's not plugged in right now. So I do make this look easy and Big Z, but it's hard. It's a lot going on. We got $2,500 cameras. We got super smoothies with all the ingredients of Mother Nature. But yeah, so it's funny because I've made like 2 different reviews before that one, but the sweet potato reviews I filmed so long ago that sometimes when I film stuff and it sits for a while, it's so easy just to like want to work on new stuff because it's not like I don't like editing. Just sometimes editing, it's almost like editing my own stuff's harder than editing like a project for work or for someone else because I know someone else is counting on me, but the fact that you're waiting, that helps me a lot to get it going. But I'm glad you got a good session on it. Now you're getting it dialed because for me it took it did click right away, but then it was like a little bit of a learning curve. But then like the sweet potato, man, I would love to have it. Again, I do still think that the Machadocado, it's like not that different. It's pretty much a sweet potato light, and then the groove is like a Machadocado light. And then the 2 fish back there is actually like the most different out of all of them. But like now that like I have the 2 fish and it's kind of oversized, it kind of checks the box for me of what the sweet potato would do. And because it is a dedicated twin fin, I actually think I do maybe like it more than the sweet potato. Even though the sweet potato like is so amazing that I thought for sure I'd like the sweet potato more. But the 2 fish is the fastest board I've ridden in a while. And I think it might be the fastest out of all of these. Just 2 reasons is when there's no fin, less fins, less drag. And it's such a deep here, you see right here, that's a opposite. That's a double concave. But the two fish actually goes in. So this is almost like a belly, which a lot of boards like to have this right here because it adds like control and just makes it ride nice. But the two fish actually goes the opposite way and it creates like a spoon dig, and it's super deep, which makes it really fast and really loose back here. But it does make it a bit harder to ride and to kind of like fine tune. And I wouldn't suggest it for a beginner. But like if you're gonna go either groove or two fish, like obviously I would go two fish just due to how thick with 2 C's it is. But like even the shapes of the two fish and the Machadocado are more different than the Machadocado and the groove. Let's grab the two fish real quick. We didn't appreciate. So like even looking at the two fish, see I don't like this lens doesn't want to focus. I don't know why. The two fish has more volume, and it does the classic beak nose more than the Kado too. And it's pretty much like a lot different. But here's what I was talking about, the spoon. So that had a belly, the Kado. Or this has like a swoop. And it's super evident. And then even the fins are like stretched pretty far out because the tail gets so wide. So like on the groove, these are going to be way closer and it's going to be like a squash. So this board is definitely like the most different. And then the Kado is actually pretty similar. But I would even say the Machup is the closest ride to the groove because it's more refined, etc. It has the 5-fin option. So I think if you have the Machup, it doesn't make as much sense to get the groove. But if you have the Machadocado and you want a slightly higher performance board, if you have the two fish or a seaside, then the groove makes a lot of sense because it's pretty much like adding a shortboard into your quiver. And I think it actually would even grovel pretty well because the dimensions on the groove are pretty good. I wish I could share my stupid screen, but I want to show you guys the dimensions on the groove. Because like for me, it actually is pretty perfect. Oh wow, look, they're showing the Joyride video right now. Wow, that's pretty sick. For some reason, oh wait, whatever. So I just want to show you guys the like 510 on the groove is 34 liters, whereas a 5.9 on the Machup is 34-ish liters. So the Machup is more grovelly than the groove, but I bet when you ride them, it actually might seem more skimmy and a little more out of control than the groove. Because the tails on the groove and the Machup are different enough that the groove would be your best bet if you just want to not play games. Like if you're like, I have the Kado, I want to get the groove or the Machup, I would say try the groove. Because I'm going to show you guys the dimensions real quick. Because the dimensions to me are pretty perfect. Like he definitely did a great job of dialing these in. Now I don't even know if it's going to let me do this because I'll probably have them backwards, but we'll see. So Come on, work with me here. Just bringing up the dimensions of the groove. Okay, cool. So, like, to me, this looks like what dimensions usually look like. I mean, the 511 at 35.6, the pod mod, that was 510, was I think 35.7. So considering that a pod mod, which is kind of supposed to be like a lost RNF, isn't that far off than the dims on the groove, it goes to show that the groove really isn't like it's not trying to exclude people that want to ride the high performance board, because the dimensions right here, they show that like it's actually not too potato chippy. I mean, this could be like 511 32 liters, 510 30 liters. I mean, even the 5.8 is 31.1 liters, which, you know, compare that to like the Sci-Fi 2.0, the 5.8's 29 liters. And like the RFK by Kelly, the 5.9's 25.6 liters. So, you know, this will really show you the difference. Like that's what the 6.6 on the original RFK or FRK, the 6.6 is 36.2 liters. So the 6.6 on the Kelly's board has, you know, it's the same as the 6.0 on the Rob board. So Rob almost can't go. He can't go too crazy on his dims just because he does like to ride the board so small. So he's essentially trying to like still make it suitable for him. And then as it scales, it's not going to get too crazy thin, because that's kind of like the boards that he's used to making. And it's not going to really do anyone any favors to like alienate people by making the bigger sizes thinner. Because I think he's realized that his target market, his audience, is they want more foam. So Miggsy says he's going to try the Machado keels on the sweet potato and sees what happens. And he thanks me. Conditions are perfect for the sweet potato. Sweet, mate. Well, that's great to know. And guys, again, if you're in here, please smash the like, hit subscribe if you haven't. It's much appreciated. We have 2 minutes if anyone wants to drop the super chat and win the sponsor before we get out of here, because we're about to go, because the voice is gone. It is getting late, and you think I have a life? Like, it's Saturday night in America. You think I should be out hitting the town, you know? But I'm here just for you guys. It's just for my fans, my subscribers. Like, I'd be out there just like macking on chicks, like hitting the clubs, like kind of a big deal. But I realize that this is important. The groove versus the Machadocado is more important than me hitting the town. I'm hitting the bottle. So I hope that's appreciated, that I'm giving up my social life for life of screens. Because we're living in, I'll show you what we're doing now. I was just scared when I was younger that this is what we're going to be doing. And it kind of sucks because this is kind of what we do now. And I'm not saying like I'm like too good for this or not good enough for this, but let me show you. So here's what we all do now. It's kind of sad, but so whenever I saw this movie, I was like, oh no, that's not fun. That's not a good way to live. But this is essentially us now. We all just hang out, and even when we're like sitting next to each other, we'll still just talk to them on our screens instead of face to face. But hopefully it doesn't get to this point where like we don't even exercise and we live on little wheelchairs, and we literally don't even look up. Like in the movie Wall-E, this movie is really amazing if you haven't seen it. They don't even look away from these screens. They're looking straight at these things. And like one guy in the movie like moves the screen and the person like wakes up essentially and is like, holy crap, like we live in the real world. So it was funny is when I saw this back in the day, I was like, oh no way, like that's never gonna happen to me and to us. And then the more life goes on, I'm like, dang it, like there's me right there in the middle, like looking at these screens. But I don't know. I feel like if you're engaged, it's one thing. Like especially when I'm like editing or working on videos, time goes by, you don't feel like you're wasting time, but it definitely can be like when you're just doom scrolling and not doing anything, it feels like a waste of time. But I know that the image on a two-dimensional screen isn't necessarily the bad part. It's just the like kind of vortex of focus that it wants to just like draw you in. And then when you're just wasting your time and you're getting a belly like this guy, that's when it's the issue. Is when it's like you don't even know the world exists besides the screen. So, I was always scared that this was going to be our world, and now that it is, it's like kind of sucks. But I don't know. I don't really know the solution. I mean, the solution is to go surf. The solution's like, go to the beach like I do here. Try to just get outside. Like, luckily we're surfers and we understand that how important like surfing is, and half of it isn't even surfing. It's being in the ocean, being out in nature, kind of like reconnecting, having that one spot where you can go and not have technology affect you. It's like pretty sacred. So we all have our things, but like us surfers are lucky where we have this one thing. Not a lot of people get to have this. Like not a lot of people get to experience these kind of moments with the sunset, and you're in the ocean, and there's a seal coming to eat you. Like it's pretty cool. Like most people don't like get to experience this. They just live, they live like this. So, in the end, like it doesn't really matter that much what surfboard you're riding. Like any board will do. And it's fun to talk about the nuances, but like the bottom line is whichever one of these boards is gonna like get you out in the water when it looks like this, and it's like a crappy day. Where is it? Right here, and it's like windy and crappy. Like whatever board's gonna get you out there, that's the board you want to get. Like that's the board for you. And if like you're a high performance guy, like get that board. If you're thick with two C's and you're old and washed up like me and Migsy and Mark, like get the Kado. Because in the end, like the ego and the pride of having the high performance board doesn't mean anything if you're not surfing. So, all right, guys, I think that was a good segue to end it, getting nice and depressive after watching my favorite guys right here. But yeah, go check out Wall-E, and another good movie is Up, which is not as similar. Oh, there's Wall-E right there. He's chilling. And I am reacting to this. Hopefully this shouldn't be copyright material. But we'll end on a nice sunset thing. But all right, guys, hour and a half. We did it. The stream only collapsed once. I guess I can't screen share anymore. I want to thank my regulars, Migs, Mark, Mikey Wattas. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another Hero's Journey live stream. If you have any extra questions, let me know. If not, please let them in the chat later in retrospect. This has been the Machadocado versus the Groove. In the end, I'm going to pick the Machadocado because I'm old and washed up. But if you're a young buck, if you're like 28 and younger, and like you need to fit in with the cool kids, go Groove. If you're past 35 and all you care about is like getting out in the water and surfing, you know, and it looks like this, and it's not that good out, go Machadocado. You're gonna catch more waves, have more fun, and it looks shortboardy enough where you can fit in with the cool kids, and no one will be the wiser. So we made it. Another stream, another week, another dollar, more AdSense revenue for me. Perfect. Check out the affiliate links below. Whenever you click a link and it goes somewhere, the cookies resonate. So like even if you shop Amazon, just click my Amazon store and go look at stuff. And like even if you buy something else, I still get a little bit of the monies. So one way to support me is just using links in the description. I appreciate that. And none of this is like none of that's paid or sponsored. It's just how the YouTube game works, and it's awesome. It's nice getting like a little extra, basically getting some coffee or dinner for the day just by you going to Amazon and buying your, you know, normal things, but you went there via one of my links. So yeah. So again, thank you Surtex for sponsoring the stream. Go check them out. Their number's right there, up right here, and check them on Instagram. I look like I'll do one more screenshot before I leave, because I look like one of my favorite characters right here. Oh, here he is. So I'll give you guys one more image before you leave, because since we're doing, I guess, movie stuff, I do look like one of my favorite actors. Here we go. So what are you doing? All right, so from me and Jigsaw, till next time, now you'll appreciate everything. You're so ungrateful, but not you. Not anymore. All right, guys. Me and Jigsaw, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Till next time, we out of here. Peace.